Hello and welcome to a lower end tour of my lower end sim rig setup, and also lower end because I'm using my smartphone to record this footage. I don't have a dedicated video camera like a DSLR or so on, and I don't have studio lights either, so I'm hoping this setup is sufficient. And also I'm using the headset mic rather, so I hope the audio is also okay. Let's start from the beginning. Here I have from storage I pulled out my Thrustmaster T300 RS base number 3. And those who are familiar with my channel will know of my issues with the bases. This base currently does not make any noise. Doesn't make any noise at all because it doesn't power on. The internal power supply in here on the right hand side is broken, I think, so I have to pay to have it repaired by Thrustmaster in France. So I have to decide whether to send it off at some point to have it repaired. And above that I have my Thrustmaster Ferrari 599 XX Evo replica rim with the Alcantara covering, and that rim is on the side because I currently have the Thrustmaster open wheel add-on rim. And there's a long story in a way behind this whole setup. So basically, when the T300 RS base number 3 died, I decided I wanted to get a stronger system. Now some have questioned the logic of sticking with Thrustmaster. Should I have gone with Fanatec or whatever, but I decided I wanted to try a Thrustmaster TS PC Racer base as cheap as possible. So I found a guy on eBay, Scotland actually, and he had tried direct drive and wanted to upgrade to Fanatec Podium once it became available. So he sold me the base without the rim. So I began to use the base with the 599 XX Evo rim. And then at last Christmas, I splurged and treated myself to the open wheel add-on rim, which was designed to go originally with this TS PC Racer. So when the TS PC Racer originally launched, it was PC only with no pedals, just the base and the rim, TS PC Racer base and the open wheel rim. And this is the same base that George Ortner uses as well as Billy Strange. So I heard good things about it, so decided to invest in that, and touch wood, it's been okay for now. I like the open wheel add-on, and thank you to Dan DiMaggio from Sim Racing Source for annoying Thrustmaster about making this available as a separate. The buttons are numbered as you can see here, but the numbers aren't so bright. The colors of the numbers aren't so bright, so it would be nicer if they were brighter, or maybe backlit or something, I don't know. Just easier to see in the dark. If you drive with any lights on, it's difficult to see actually the numbers. And also this removable plate here, the expectation was when this was first announced was that the plate would be removable, so you could add some kind of rev counter or so on, which they made available, which connects via Bluetooth, but it's PlayStation only, so not for me right now. But other than that, I'm pleased with the rim. And a minor note actually, when you connect the rim to the PC and put it in default settings, the rotation appears as 360 degrees. I'm not sure why, but it's something that I noticed. I don't know if other people have noticed the same, but I had the Windows control panel open there just to note, so I wouldn't forget to note it. And then to continue with the wheel setup, on the right here I have the Thrustmaster TH8A shifter, the standard 8 position H pattern gated shifter, which many people use. Good product. And then I have the Thrustmaster T3PA pedals, and I have the conical brake mod installed. When you buy a T3PA set, it comes with this piece of metal with a rubber bushing, and you can shorten the throw of the brake pedal and also increase the stiffness. So some people use it, some people don't. And of course, Thrustmaster have recently launched their first load cell based system. So that's available for $200 or so. So people were waiting for that, as they were waiting for the certain rims to be available as add-ons. So Thrustmaster are extending their range of products. And I have everything mounted to a wheel stand Pro. I originally had the wheel stand, and then I had to get the wheel stand Pro because of the heavier base I was using. And then when I got the shifter, I got the shifter add-on, which mounts to the side of the wheel stand Pro. So it makes the overall system quite heavy. So it doesn't move around when you're using it. That's one thing, but of course it's quite heavy to move. And then the pièce de résistance, the most low rent aspect of the whole setup, I guess, is the chair. Chair is a standard office chair that I got on sale. I think it was X Display. I got it for like 50 euros or something, so I haggled with the guy. And it has a standard 2 positions, reclined and upright, so I use it usually in the reclined position. And then another long story, which is typical for me. I had 2 Xbox 360 wired controllers which broke, and I was going to recycle them, so I cut off the cables and I used the cables from those to make a strap. So basically, when I push the chair in front of the Wheel Stand Pro, I strap it in, and then on the other side there's a hook system. So basically, day-to-day basis, I use the chair in front of the desk for the computer, and then when I want to drive, I pull back the chair, lift in the Wheel Stand Pro system, which is quite heavy, as I said, and then I'll push in the chair and strap it in with this, and it's quite sturdy. It doesn't move, and no matter how hard I depress the pedal, it tends to stay in position, which is good. It's a kind of it's a hack, I guess. It's a system I came up with over time, but it works for me. Of course, a dedicated chair would be preferable, but I have what I have for now. Then I have these karting gloves, these Alpine Stars karting gloves. I've never actually gone karting, would you believe, but I got these for sim racing to basically protect the Alcantara on the rims. And as you can see, the Alcantara here is slightly worn, but of course lesser because I'm using the gloves. The gloves are a bit sad, I know, but it adds to the immersion, I suppose, and protects the rims. And those who sim race will understand what I mean. And the gloves are a bit worn through many hours of use, but they have been good. And then to the left here, I have my Blue Snowball mic. This is the standard mic I use for most of my audio. And it's been a good mic so far. I do have a pop filter for it, but we're moving house right now, so it's boxed away somewhere. And then my PC, it's a Intel Core i5 with 24 gigs of RAM and a GTX 970, so it's quite old already. Maxwell based system, so I think it's Maxwell anyway, so quite old right now. And then I have a Acer 27-inch monitor. This is a standard monitor, 1080p, no HDMI, just standard VGA and DVI. And it does for me a single monitor setup basically. So I was watching Michi Hoyer streaming the other day, and Michi Hoyer has a Intel Core i9 with an RTX 2080 and a 49-inch 144 Hz monitor. So I'll add a screenshot of that in post, and I shed a tear of joy for Michi and sadness for me, because this is my system is like a Nintendo game and watch in comparison, but there you go. Many people still use the GTX 970, and of course I often get the CPU occupancy warning in Assetto Corsa if I try to add too many AI. So this PC needs to be upgraded at some point, but does the job for now. And then above here I have a set of standard Sony Bluetooth headphones. I have masking tape on these because my daughter has an identical set, These are WH500s. They weren't expensive. The masking tape is there, so if they're upstairs on the same table, she'll know which is hers and I'll know which is mine. And attached to that, I have this Track Clip Pro for the Track IR system. As you can see, I have that mounted here. And the Track IR comes with a clip that you mount, for example, on a baseball cap. But I decided to invest in the Track Clip Pro, which is wired, not wireless. But anyway, and it has these 3 LEDs. They light up when it's plugged in, and it helps to improve the positional tracking. So I use that. It's like baby's first VR set, but anyway. And the headset I'm using right now with the microphone, like I mentioned, is this a SteelSeries Arctis 7. I always forget the name, so I put the screen up there so I could remember the name. And a minor point, actually, the SteelSeries Arctis 7 comes with its own wireless dongle, wireless receiver, and I realized recently that if I connect it to the TV upstairs, I can use it for wireless audio, because the TV, we bought a 4K TV and it has a USB port which powers the dongle, and then I can take audio from the TV out, plug it in here, and then use the TV wirelessly, which is a nice option. I only realized it after I'd already had the headset for a long time. And then my sad car collection of 2 cars, the Mercedes-Benz CLK GTR. This is a car that an aunt of mine gave to my kids at one point, and I nabbed it because I don't think they were very interested. It's a friction powered car and the doors open. And then I have an old Burago Lancia Beta Monte Carlo. My brother went on a school trip many years ago and brought me back this. I still have it, and my brother is no longer with us, unfortunately, so I keep this as a memento of him. So, and it's also nice to have as a bit of auto history, and the fact that I've had it for such a long time. And then to the right of that, my second monitor is actually a Wacom Cintiq. So I like to draw, so this is actually a Wacom, the product is a Wacom Cintiq Companion Hybrid. Hybrid being that you can connect it to a PC or a Mac and use it as a screen, a drawing tablet of course, and it also runs Android, and it actually runs Android 4.1. It's a kind of the device that Wacom kind of disregarded. They just didn't develop it any further, so it never got upgraded any further from Android 4.1. So for Android it's a bit crappy right now, but you can still use, for example, Autodesk Sketchbook. You can use the older versions of the apps if you can install them, so it's still usable. And of course you can use it as a drawing tablet on a PC or a Mac, and it has touch. When Microsoft figured out the bugs with Windows 10, the touch started to work, so obviously it works as a touch screen for Windows 10. And also I use it as a touchscreen when I use the Nintendo emulators that I have. And for example, these things are many will recognize the Nintendo Wiimotes, or Wii remotes rather, and these are mounted on my special 3D printed cardboard Wii remote patent pending holder. Don't laugh. And I keep those there because it's handy, so I know where they are. And then mounted here on front of the monitor is what is it's called a Mayflash Dolphin bar. So it's a Dolphin bar because when the original Nintendo Wii was being developed, the internal project name was Dolphin, so the Dolphin emulator is for Wii. So that's the sensor bar I use for the Wii with the Wii remotes. And I should also note that my amazing 3D printing cardboard abilities, this Wacom Cintiq came with its own stand, but the angle was wrong for my usage in this case, so I made a stand for it out of a cat food box. So Royal Canine, if you're listening, I'm interested in any sponsorship opportunities. Felines and Fake Ferraris, if you're listening. And the reason I use this is because the Cintiq has its own stand, but the angle isn't high enough, so I made this and it sits on there. I can also, for example, put it in portrait mode if I want to, and it's pretty sturdy. Portrait mode is handy, for example, if I want to read a long script or something when I'm trying to record. And behind that there, I have a standard set of desktop speakers, which I don't use so often, sometimes for music and sometimes if my daughter wants to watch something from my computer, she watches her TV shows. And then I have a USB 3 hub for extra USB ports. We all know about how we often run out of ports. And then I have this TerraTech amplifier, this device that my friend gave me. He didn't really need it. I haven't really used it, to be honest. But I keep it there. I must learn how to use it at some point. And then to the right, I have this kind of chair, IKEA stool thing or step ladder thingy I use for my keyboard. This is a standard Logitech wireless keyboard. I have several of them in the house. These are quite common. My constant companion, my coffee cup thingy. Then of course I have the pull-out tray with a mouse. And I guess the final point is the desk. The desk is an IKEA desk that IKEA don't really make anymore. It was made to be made to be used with a desktop. And this is something that they don't really provide at this scale anymore, because I guess most people have tablets or laptops. So this is an old desk from the early 2000s, and it's handy because of the space in there. I can push the Wheel Stand Pro in, and then what I do is when I'm driving, I'll take the monitor and I'll push it forward a bit, and then I'll adjust the field of view accordingly. And that's basically it. I think I've included everything. I didn't make notes, but I think I managed to include everything. So if you enjoyed the video, a like would be appreciated, and also share the sadness if you can. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell icon, called the cool kids say. And if you have any questions or comments, I'd appreciate it in the comment section below, and I will endeavor to answer any questions you may have. So until next time, thanks for watching and see you later. Bye bye.